was my first time putting DEF in this truck. I was kind of hoping to pick it up like right at the pump somewhere, but Sheetz doesn't have it here, so I had to go in, buy a little bit. So let's see how it goes. Fun. Basically urea. About $20 for this. Yeah, I knew it.
I knew it. Just tell, you know?
I wonder how much this holds. That's it. 2.5 gallons of urea. Go wash my hands. All right, a couple things to talk about. Sheetz and DEF. So you can see, first time filling this truck with DEF. Not really that familiar with the process yet. This Sheetz here, it's since been replaced, but for those of you that are not from Pennsylvania or surrounding states, Sheetz is a privately owned gas station based out of Altoona, Pennsylvania. Also home of the Altoona Curve and Mallow Cups. So these guys are really a fast food restaurant with a gas station attached. So imagine if McDonald's was like selling gasoline. I used to come up here a lot. I didn't know what Sheetz was. I'm from Ohio, moved to this town because of this college right here. So this is where I went to school from 1998 to 2002. This is my alma mater. So right here, spent a lot of time here. I remember when they built that building or remodeled it. So it's on both sides of the road here, and Greenville's just a kind of an old Western Pennsylvania town. And yeah, it's been good for me. This was a great education. I'm glad I went here. But Sheetz was just a common occurrence, man. And if you look at, as I traveled Western Pennsylvania for the next 15, 20 years, there's a Sheetz in almost every college town. Just the way it is, right? Like, kids get hungry at night or early in the morning on the weekends. And yeah, so that's where I kind of learned about Sheetz. I don't know if you're familiar, but I thought I'd just kind of fill you in. If they ever went public, I'd buy stock. And DEF. So DEF is urea and water. It's like 66% water, and the rest is urea, which is used on the exhaust side of a diesel engine for emissions. So it's just an extra product you need to put in your tank. It's a lot easier to fill those tanks up on the big rigs at the pumps because they actually have DEF there at the pump. It's a lot easier than, as you can see me fumbling around with the dad burn box, 2.5 gallon cube or whatever. But the other thing is I put 2.5 gallons in and that sucker hasn't moved. I don't know if I'm supposed to reset it or if it just doesn't have a good sensor. But it took the full 2.5 gallons. The other thing about Greenville is it's the home of Werner Ladder. At one point, there was a big aluminum extrusion fabrication shop here where Werner Ladder was headquartered. And American-made ladders. But most of those ladders are now made in Mexico, China. And I think it started before I even actually went to Teal. But I remember the 90s, early 2000s, Rush Limbaugh was saying, oh yeah, we're going cheap goods. You gotta move manufacturing to China. It's all about capitalism, And I fell for it because I'm like, yeah, I don't get in the way of the free market. And I don't know what the answer is, but in all reality, there was a logical argument of where are people going to work? And I think that's where we're at today is, at this point, where are people going to work? If you moved all the manufacturing to other countries, where are people going to work? Like good paying jobs. But somebody else said it. Like if you start pulling the jobs out of China, they're just going to put it in another country. They're not going to come back to the United States. So they'll just move it. You know, I know very well in the maple industry that there's a lot of product like stainless steel drums that are brought in from China. And then they put a made in Canada sticker on it. So when it comes across the US border, it doesn't get the 25% tariff. Trump's not wrong. There's definitely some crap going on between Canada and the US, and a lot of things are just going from Canada or from China to Canada and down and avoiding the tariffs. It's happening. And if that's what you're doing, and I've heard that everybody's doing it, right? So that made in Canada sticker, it's not really made in Canada, just so you know. I just gave Jake some time to get this tractor started because we're going to have to horse the drums into this truck, probably 2 buckets at a time. But anyways, let's go get some syrup. Jake and his wife have a nice little Airbnb here too. You can actually come out and stay here at the farmhouse. So they do have an Airbnb. They're in Hartstown, and it's pretty private back in here. They're pretty private people. I don't really plan on interviewing Jake or anything like that, but just kind of showing you the relationships between one packer to another. And then, Jake ever needed help, called me, I'd help them. So you don't have to do everything on your own. Sometimes you just need to pick up the phone. And that's really where you need help, and asking for help. So, yeah, it's pretty back here. He's got peacocks. Jake's an interesting cat. Like I enjoy, he's an intellectual dude, and I enjoy talking to him. And Nova Maple. Nova Maple. Look it up on Amazon. You can buy your products from Nova Maple. I will put a link in the description down below if you'd like to buy some Nova Maple products and support Jake and his family. You should do that. He's good at candy, cream, sugar, like all these things. We've arrived. So you can stay right there if you do an Airbnb with him.
All right, Jake.
Your website is what?
Novamaple.com.
And then do you have a website where you sell your products, or does that direct you to your Amazon page?
No, we sell direct on the website, and that's what we prefer.
Okay.
We still sell the majority on Amazon. They have the reach. But if you just search Nova Maple Syrup or Sapsquatch Organic Maple Syrup on Amazon, or go to our websites.
And we'll put a link down below, so anybody wants to get your product, it'll be right in the description down below in the video.
Awesome. Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Cool. It has warmed up to 12 degrees. So now I'm heading back to the plant, get this unloaded, and these guys can make their order. It's a plan. Probably make it tomorrow is my guess. But yeah, you can go to Airbnb or vacation rental by owner Verbo. I'll put the links in the description below, and I like seeing businesses like this do well. Jake's got a good business head. He and I will be in this business a long time together, so glad he's a neighbor. Thanks, Jake. Sometimes people have to work. Let me show you. ERP conference call. Thank God it's not me. Let me show you what Dino's been working on. This is Jess's future office. So we just send Dean in here to get all the asbestos out. Yep. This is it, buddy. This is Jess's future office. He's on it, man. He even got sprinkler systems in here. Who knows? Yeah, I don't even think this is the actual roof. I think this is the old roof. And then there's a new roof above it. So, I don't actually think this is the ceiling. It's just my personal opinion. But it's working on it. What do you think, Jody? You ready to grade? Yeah. Are you going to bring the samples into the lab, or are you going to bring the lab to the samples?
It's warmer in the lab.
Yeah, I was going to say. You want me to help you grab samples? Open drums?
I'm going to wash off the tops before I open them.
I got you.
It's in it.
Good call.
Are they frozen?
It's going to be cold, that's for sure. Well, from a snowy, windy afternoon in Northeast Ohio, thanks for stopping by. Catch you in the next episode.